Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
All right, welcome to the Our Team Podcast. I'm Brian Auer, and we have
Tom Olsewski.
It's great to have you, Tom.
Great to be here. Thanks.
You're a pretty cool dude.
Oh, stop.
No, I'm not going to stop. You're a very cool dude. It was great to get to know you at the convention and just getting to know you through the different channels that we have at the brokerage and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You have been over here on this side for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
And
90 days. So
yep.
It's been absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. What was the? I mean, you've been doing real estate for a long time. How many?
19 years.
19 years. Okay, cool. So I've been doing real estate longer than you.
Mm.
I've been in the real estate space longer than you.
Yeah. Well, you're a rock star, so.
No, not really. Did you know I used to be a rock star? I don't look like it because I'm old and
Well, I knew you played the drums, but
yeah.
I didn't know you.
I don't know
considered
if I
yourself a rock star.
I didn't really consider myself a rock star, but I did tour in a band, and that was a lot of fun. Played tons of shows up and down the coast.
No.
When I was just out of high school, I did a European tour, which is cool.
Okay.
We played in 11 countries. We played like 40-something shows in a summer. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. And we did that. I was at that time I was in a contemporary Christian band, and so we did this through this organization called Messenger International, and they just booked it all for us. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Wow.
But I got to see a lot of cool stuff, and I got to see a lot of scary stuff. And when I came home, I did two things. After being in Europe for so long, I kissed the ground. When I landed, we landed in Vegas. I kissed the ground, and all I wanted was ice cubes. Because they don't serve ice cubes there. Mm-hmm. You get it. It doesn't matter what you're drinking. It comes without ice cubes.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't. I've been all through Europe. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't recall that. But anyway.
Well, I'm not a rock star anymore, and I know you were talking about real estate and me being a rock star. I'm thankful that I'm around a lot of good people. I feel like that's what you do in this business. You surround yourself with people that are better than you. I really try to be in rooms where I'm the dumbest one in the room.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
my goal. And at EXP, there's so much talent here.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I made the move.
Yeah,
because I get motivated by hanging around with true performers that are just killing it in every type of market.
Yep.
And between EXP in general, and then our Fast Forward movement group, it's just absolutely incredible, and that gets me motivated.
Yeah. When you consider how much talent there is and how many big teams have moved over, and just to see how they're growing and taking advantage of the different pillars of income and things like that, and having just a sense of freedom, that there's something very intoxicating about getting off that hamster wheel as a real estate professional. Everyone seems to be much happier. I feel like whenever we go to an event, it's an EXP event, everyone is so happy. Right? They're in a good mood. It's because they're fighting for something that is giving them freedom ultimately. So you've been out of several places. I mean, you've had your license hung at how many different brokerages?
3. I started with Tarbell, who's now Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay.
And that only lasted, that was very short. I was with KW for the bulk of my career.
Got it.
Almost 10 years with them. And CB, 6 years.
Got it.
Before making the switch.
Yeah. I was at Coldwell Bank for quite a while, and I really liked it. I felt good about the brand, and I was getting some good opportunity there, things like that. But I just couldn't justify staying when I saw the model, and I had to make the move, and I'm so glad I did.
EXP is the KW template on steroids.
Yeah, that's right.
And I really enjoyed the KW situation. And Caldwell Banker was a step backwards,
right?
From a learning and expanding standpoint.
Yeah.
By far. In the first 90 days with EXP, I've learned more and implemented more top-level stuff that's going to help me move the needle than I did in the previous 6 years.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Great agents, great
Love
people,
hearing that.
But from a pure business standpoint.
So is that why you came over? Because you saw that was already going on, or is that a surprise to you? Did you come over because of X, Y, and Z, but now that you're here, you actually learned that, there's also ABC?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For the most part, I did, through the KW network, I took advantage of the network of agents all across the country.
Yeah.
And they helped me personally get through the big crash.
Yeah.
Because I made a shift to short sales, and there were groups and agents that were willing to help, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
And then I was coaching with another group out of Texas, and they were the group that I was originally thinking I would come in because I like what they do.
Yeah.
And the coaching that I had to pay for, they now provide for free.
You've got to be talking about Jay Kinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael Reese.
Yeah,
I love Michael Reese. He's a excellent marketer, and that's what I more or less consider myself.
Yeah. Yeah, he is incredible. He's like a funnel genius.
Yep.
And so he's part of our organization, and he has just opened up his, the back door, basically,
exactly.
into behind the scenes stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Even little things like onboarding when you when you expand your team. He has so many tools and so many things to just make life so much easier. Here's a question I had for you. I've had the privilege of bringing a lot of people over to this brand and to my team and things like that, and I get mixed signals on EXP World. Some people are just like, "Oh, it's the coolest thing. I love it," and others are just like, "Bro, I ain't doing that EXP World thing. That ain't happening." Where do you fit in that?
Well, again, my background, I came out of the computer technology arena. I had my own computer business for 10 years, so technology doesn't faze me at all.
Good.
And, EXP World, when I first heard about it, I thought, yeah. But diving into it, from the standpoint of when I was onboarding, as an example, I was hustling to get things rolling, my signs, my business cards, and EXP does a good job of making sure you're compliant.
Yeah.
And so I was having some issues, and I had a question, and I figured, well, let me go to the broker. And you go through the EXP World, and you have your little avatar, and you go into the broker's office, you take a ticket, and you're greeted right away. So they tell you which ticket to take, and within a couple of minutes,
literally minutes,
you're virtually sitting across from the broker, and I got my answer right away.
Yeah, it's amazing when you think about a lot of the brick and mortar brands or brokerages. In order to have a serious conversation with the broker, you first have to talk to the manager, and then they kind of go up another layer to see if, and then maybe you can get the broker of record. It's certainly not going to be the same day. And so with
2 to
EXP
3
World,
days at least.
That's right. I can have a very meaningful conversation with Deborah Penny, who is our broker. We have, I think, 4 brokers in California, but we could almost do it live right now. I could go from right now to talking to Deborah face to face in probably 2 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's because it's virtual. It's because she's on, a certain amount of time during the day, and she can be anywhere in the world and be tapped in and be available. Yeah. I just think it's brilliant. Now, the avatar you talked about, that's what you do. You're creating an avatar of yourself, and then now you use that to go around to the different, you're on the campus, and you're basically going around. I got to be honest, Did you do like a very accurate avatar, or did you make yourself look, a little more suave?
30 years younger, and
I knew it.
The gray hair is gone. And,
I knew it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. I made mine look really. I'm very good looking in EXP world. Yeah. I mean, I got muscles.
Yeah.
I've got kind of like a V, small waist, big chest. That's
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have any blemishes on my face. No wrinkles. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you want to check me out there, I mean, I'm in the XP world, looking good with my icon button and stuff like that. But that's really cool. So talk to me a little bit about the fast forward movement. So obviously, EXP is not only it's expanding across Earth, right? I think we're 22 countries now, maybe 24. Yeah. That's exciting.
I believe we were rated number 1 as far as agent growth over the past year. So
it's incredible how it's growing. And talking to Brent Gove and Glenn, obviously, they believe that we're going to hit 1 million agents.
Yeah.
And we have just under 90,000 right now.
Yeah.
So that means we're just basically in the first inning of this whole thing, right? It just grows organically because it just grows organically.
Yeah.
But the fast forward movement is sort of like they are our senior partners, really.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. There's so much talent in that room. Talk about being the dumbest guy in the room.
You can throw out any question and get 5 just absolute incredible responses.
Yeah. What I like about this model is that you think about all your senior partners, they just want you to they're just obsessed with your success.
Yeah.
And so you ask them a tough question about how to move the needle in your business. They're not like that guy sitting next to you at Coldwell Banker who's actually competing with you.
Yeah.
They're actually wanting to elevate you as much as humanly possible. And so you find that you are constantly rubbing shoulders with people that are willing to give you...
Been there, done that. In the trenches now, in today's market, not 10 years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that's a great point.
Yeah.
We have to unpack that a little bit. At our traditional brokerages, most of the time, your seniors don't sell real estate anymore, and they haven't sold real estate in a long time. And so you're kind of
even the trainers.
Even they learn how to train, but they haven't done it from experience.
Yeah.
So you're kind of SOL a little bit when you need a question about marketing or ClickFunnels or any of that they don't know, or even contract issues. But we're people that are our senior partners at EXP literally are selling hundreds and hundreds of homes per year. They're either running a team and have admin. So I call and I ask Kyle Whistle, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey man, I really have a question about onboarding this, that, and the other. And he's like, I don't know, I don't handle that, but I have these 3 admin. He puts me in touch with them, and boom.
Yeah.
It's instant teaching, instant answers.
Yeah, and there is a Facebook group where you can post stuff, and it's actually amazing that a lot of the responses come from Kyle.
Yeah.
And as busy as he is,
him and Dan, they're constantly on it.
They're throwing out, either they know the answer, or like in your case, they're going to point you to the correct people to get the best answer.
That's right. Yeah. So that's why they call it the fast forward movement, is because they just, their whole thing is just, look, we just educate, give you all the best tools.
Yeah.
And it really is a way to fast forward your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we're also tapped into the Honey Badger Nation, which is pretty hysterical. Those guys that is Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, Kitchens is in there. They're just great marketers. They're great at everything that they do.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why you're a tech guy.
Yeah.
You totally understand. You're not afraid of technology. So that's why you really connect with those guys, because they're not talking over your head.
Tech and video. Yeah. Video I'm still working on and can get better at. And that was one of the reasons why I joined in through the Fast Forward group and yourself because I've seen your videos. You do excellent stuff.
Thank you.
I've seen Kyle's stuff, and he's had programs and teaches better ways to do video. And it was a no-brainer from that standpoint. I can get you guys as well as the people that I've been familiar with and have coached with in the past. So it's incredible. That's
so cool. I love that. Thank you for the compliment on the videos. I feel like I'm going backwards in my videos because
I'm catching up. You're looking at mine and you're seeing,
No, I like your videos. I like it. I watch every one of your YouTube channels or every one of your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I used to really focus on really high quality commercial grade type stuff, especially when I was doing a lot more videos for Along the Road to Temecula Valley and different things. I mean, they were really good, and I did them all, and I edited, I wrote the scripts, I did all that stuff, and it was just a one-man show, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of work. Met a lot of great people in the valley. As a result, became a little bit of the mayor digitally here. A lot of people still talk about those videos. They still refer to them. But what's hard for me is that that's not necessarily what is thumb stopping on social media anymore. It's now vertical.
Yeah.
It's much shorter clips, 30 to 60 seconds max. Yeah. Now you got to tell a story that's a little more wobbly, a little more quick, a little more quirky, a little more and to me, I feel like I had to kind of devolve from the real commercial looking stuff to just more. But so on the one hand, it's much easier to put that content together.
Yeah. Well, I think the longer form content is still viable for YouTube.
It has to be.
And then there are AI technologies. You can create that long form video, and there are AI technologies that'll clip it and shorten it and give you 6-7 short clips that are very well appointed and so forth. So,
well, my wife and I decided that we are going to start doing local businesses and things like that again to truly just give back and just create some good content for the show. And I'm literally going to do the whole thing on my iPhone. I'm going to mic her up, and I'm going to follow her around on the iPhone. We're going to interview, store managers and things like that. And I'm going to film it all vertical, 4K 60, so I have more to work with. And I'm going to edit in Final Cut Pro, and I'm literally going to be putting together 60-second videos, vertical, that are community spotlight videos that I can put, as a short, as a reel, regular post, stories, things like that. And it is going to be challenging because we're going to end up with 15 minutes of content that I have to shove into a little 60-second, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. It's going to be, so you'll definitely want to be following that and watching that closely.
I'll take a look.
Yeah. So, is there anything else? I mean, I feel like we could probably have a conversation about you being here for 90 days, and how your experience so far. We could probably talk for hours about all the subtle nuances. We did just go to EXPCon. That was a phenomenal. That was the best real estate convention I have ever been to, including Tom Ferry, Mike Ferry, all the big, It was so packed full of information, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun,
I have a whole laundry list of action items that I've taken from that. And as an example, mini chat.
Yeah.
I'm very good at generating a lot of leads, but follow up, I tend to get lead drunk.
Yes.
As a term that I've heard. And this mini chat, there are ways where if you feed somebody into your direct messenger, where you can pre-qualify them basically and sort through. And so I've already got that implemented. And
is it working?
It's working. I've ran 3 Facebook ads, test and see how it's going to do.
See, that's another thing about the tools that we have at EXP. I mean, I know agents right now that are spending $900 a month on KV Core.
Yeah.
$900 a month, which is a lead management system. You can run ads. You can, it's a CRM, but it's on steroids. It has so much to,
I'm really excited about, heard about the BombBomb.
Yeah. Integrations.
Inside Real Estate, who owns KV Core, has bought BombBomb.
Yeah.
And they're taking some of the best features from both and improving both platforms. And
how much do we have to pay for that at EXP?
Nada.
It's free. It's free. It's so crazy. So I'm in KV Core all day, every day. Well, not all day, but a good 2 hours a day is probably where. And that's, by the way, that's why there's success. My wife and I are constantly. I wouldn't consider myself a fanatical prospector like I should be. Great book, by the way, Fanatical Prospecting.
I'm at chapter 8. I'm going to go through and do it again.
It's an amazing book. Thank you for taking me up on that book, because it's a good one. But you have to do that. And when I'm just so comfortable in KV Core, because I can just go in there and see on the main dashboard who's doing what I need to follow up with, make myself a note. And then, I'm reminded that I need to, as soon as I list a property, it comes through and says, here are some different playbooks you can do for this property. And some I know are effective, some are just kind of like, meh. So I pick all the ones that I know work. I drive traffic to the team members. If a team member has a listing, I can launch Facebook ads through KV Core, and I can direct all those leads to go into their CRM. And then their CRM is firing off all this automation that I wrote for them. So it's like everything is just churning. It's like a well-oiled machine. And they might not, do business right away, but at least they're getting leads. They're building their pipeline.
Yeah, and that's what most agents that come into this business struggle with. Mm-hmm. They think they're just going to get their license and business is going to roll in, and no.
The thing about this business is it's a know, like, trust business. They have to know you, like you, trust you. I've heard that a million times. But it's that plus the fundamentals of making sure that you have one main tool, which is your CRM, so it's great to have a customer relations tool like that, but it doesn't do you any good if there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
So you have to fill that CRM with prospects.
Yep.
And I think EXP, with all the tools that it has and all the easy integrations to run ads that are effective, you can get people to opt in very easily. Yeah. And you can fill that pipeline. Yep. So that when you build into your life as a realtor a daily routine of prospecting, on our team we call it our 5-5-4s. We spend, I'll get into that later, but it's just a way. Let's just call it time blocking.
Yeah.
And so when you're making your calls, you actually have someone to call, and if you get a no, great. You're going to get a yes eventually. Next. And you just make notes, and it's this tool that is just free and easy to use, and it helps you build. So I appreciate the technology here. Did you know there's 55 hours? Actually, I heard 55 to 65, depending on the week. 55 to 65 hours worth of training in EXP University. Yep. That's up in the cloud, in the world, EXP world, avatar, walking into the campus.
Yeah, there's a calendar you can plug into anything that applies that you're in need of.
Yeah.
Whether it be onboarding, becoming familiar with all the different systems, or like I did, I was having some issues with KV Core, so I just went into the advanced KV Core. And
they have their own university there, right?
Yep.
If you're not learning, then you're dying in this business. You have to be learning constantly.
Yeah, because it's changing and it's evolving. And,
what a better place to be in a situation where you are learning constantly.
Yeah. And you have to be open to that. For the agents that think, again, the business is just going to roll in. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to learn anything. And
Yep.
it's not going to work.
What would you say to somebody that is familiar with EXP? They're doing pretty good in business in their, but they are ready for a change and they're ready to expand.
Yeah.
Right. With a lot of good education, a lot of just a really healthy ecosystem of people that just really have a vested interest.
It's all in the networking. It's a great place for a new agent to come in for the training. It's an agent that has some production but wants to improve that, and even the ones that are in the hundreds, the teams that are producing in the hundreds, there are networking groups and that will help you improve your systems and process and increase your business.
Yeah.
So if you want to go from 1 to 10 or from 10 to 20 or from 20 to 50 or from 50 to 100, there's places you can plug in.
Yeah. What about some of those teams that already were doing 500 and they came over because they wanted to get to 1,000?
Yeah.
There's that too.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to my website, teamolsewski.com, or call me direct, 951-506-5744. I answer the phone.
You do?
I absolutely do.
Wow.
I respond to texts.
Do you have on your voicemail, does it say, for a faster response, text me at the same number?
Actually, no, I don't think so.
I have to do that because it's so often, if I'm doing a podcast or I'm doing something with the team, I can't answer all the time. So I literally have it. Look,
I just say, I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's cool. You know what, this is a squirrel, but this is something that I can't stand when I hear people listening, or when I listen to a voicemail, the outgoing voicemail that says, just leave a message and I'll get back to you at my earliest convenience. I don't like that phrase. Yeah. That's not good for sales. I know you called me, so leave me a message, and when it's convenient for me, I'll go ahead and get back to you. That's not putting clients first.
No.
Yeah,
by no means.
Yep. I think we can be done here. I'm really glad we discussed this.
Yeah. The certifications, they have a network of investors that you can be part of that group, and when you have a listing or prospecting for listings, you can say, hey, I can get you a guaranteed offer, a cash offer, and the luxury group is outstanding and improving. They have an affinity group. Affinity is basically anything that's not relocation. They have relationships with lenders and Realtor.com even. There is also the relocation group that handles the relocation, and you can tap into all of that.
EXP is getting a huge share, if not the largest share in most markets of relocation business. Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you like to do corporate relocation, this is a good seat in that room.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's about it.
Yeah. Well, we should do this again in like 3 months. Yeah. We need to do I've been at EXP for 6 months and I've accomplished this. So before I let you go, the last thing I want to ask is, since we are going to do that, what do you hope to accomplish in the next 3 months? Not the next 5 years, not the next year.
Yeah.
By the time you've been at EXP for 6 months, what would you have liked to accomplish?
Well, it's from the standpoint of I've implemented Follow-Up Boss, and I'm getting better at that. And I've been going through my old leads that haven't had the good follow-up, and I'm putting that in place. So in another 6 months, I intend to be very, very busy.
Very cool. With a lot more closed transactions.
Yep, absolutely.
By like how many percent? How many? You want to go up by 50%, 100%?
Well, a lot of that's unrealistic.
Triple your production in the next 3 months,
and then double that.
No, that's
which I've heard. That's Gary Keller's thing.
We're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
In 6 months, because most people that have come into EXP that I've been mentoring or have had the privilege of just watching them and making sure they stay plugged into the right things. The first 6 months are just mind-blowing. It starts off overwhelming and, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then with the right guidance reminding them, yes, you can. Yeah. You got this. Let's just dig deep.
The other thing I will say is I picked a niche, and I'm going to implement full-blown attack on that niche.
Cool. Do you want to share what that is, or
no?
We're going to share that later.
We'll have a separate.
I'm going to ask you how your niche is doing. What's your niche looking like?
Niche or niche, or
I know,
however you say it.
Yeah, I think you said it right.
But the riches are in the niches.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Tom, for
great to be here again,
sharing your heart and just being open to express how great it's been. And
yeah. Well, that's. When I talk to somebody from EXP, I'm not looking at it from the standpoint of, just adding a body.
Yeah.
I truly want to help.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset that I have when I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah. I like to ask people that I talk to, agents that I talk to about this a lot. Are you building something that in your real estate business that is yours?
Yeah.
Is it yours? When it's all said and done, are you building something that's yours? Are you learning something new every day? Every single day, are you learning something new? And finally, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Are you having fun? I mean, if any one of those is a no, then you're not in the right seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's something to consider, right? So, well, thank you very much.
Okay,
I think we'll just wrap this up. If you guys have any questions for Tom, you've got his phone number. Give it one more time, just for kicks and giggles.
951-506-5744, or my website, Team Olsewski, OLSEWSKI.com.
That's a tough one.
Simple.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Hey, wait, before you go, would you do us a favor? If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment? It really helps us out.